three ways to define variables in Bash. First is with the good old-fashioned POSIX sh syntax. We create the variable foo, and we can access it, and we see its value bar. Now we declared that variable in the global scope, so we expect this variable is a global variable. We can test that by writing a function. And running it. And indeed, it is a global variable. However, it being a global variable is not a result of running that command in the global scope. And this is something to keep in mind when using this syntax. If you use this syntax within a function, I'll actually use a different variable name so you can see. That's still a global variable. So be careful with that one. Generally, advise not to use that syntax. Another popular way of declaring variables in Bash is to use the export command. And there it is. What happens when we try that from within a function? Oops. Muscle memory can be a real pain sometimes. Right. Let's see if we can find that variable. Yes, we can. Starting to look like all Bash variables are global, isn't it? Trouble is, that's not a global variable. That's an environment variable. That variable was exported into the shell's environment. What this means is that not only is that variable available absolutely everywhere within this shell, including in all functions and sourced scripts, it's also available to every child process of this shell. So that can be a dangerous one. Be very careful when using that one. You don't want to go polluting your environment. The safe way to do it in Bash is to use the declare keyword. There you can see we declared foo3 to be bar, and we were able to reference it, and this was all within the global scope, and that was fine. Now, let's see what happens when we try and access that from a function. It is indeed a global variable. We declared it in the global scope, that would make sense, but we've been fooled before. So let's just check. Oh, well, it appears that declare is scope aware. So when you declare a variable in the global scope, it's in the global scope. When you declare a variable within a function, it's function scoped. So what if you really do want to declare a global variable from within a function? Well, one way you could do it is to initialize that variable from outside the function and then simply assign it from within. That's perfectly valid. But there is actually an argument that you can supply to declare, which will declare it as a global. And that's -g. And when we run that, we have a global variable. And there you have it, 3 different ways to declare variables in Bash. I hope you found this video in some way useful, and if you have any questions or suggestions as to something else I could perhaps cover in a short 5-minute video, then do leave a comment. Bye!